Okay, hi, my name is Najma, and this is my video interview for Simon Scott Holmes. This is a brief video about myself, as you had requested me sending to you. So, I will go by in chronological order. So, my background, why I'm interested in internship part time work, my greatest strengths and weaknesses as a person, and my greatest strengths and weaknesses in line with my studies. So, firstly, regarding my background, I am 21 years old. I study at City University London. I study law. My nationality is Swedish, so I'm not British, and I'm originally from Somalia. But I've lived in the UK since 2011, so that's 15 years now. Yeah. Why am I interested in internship and part-time work? As a law student, we are often encouraged to delve into various job sectors and not only law. And the fact of the matter is, law and business are very much interlinked, especially in today's world, due to globalization, due to the interconnectedness, due to social media, etc. And I'm also interested because I'm very interested in business in general. I'm interested in about how the property of homes actually works. I was involved in a internship this summer, which was me working at Economy in Hackney, which is a charity based on democratizing economics. So how to make economics sound more appealing to the public. So I think because I was involved in that, that increased my commercial awareness. So I'm very much interested in the world of finance and banking, if that makes sense. So that's a lot of the reason why I'm very much interested in the internship. Thirdly, my greatest strengths and weaknesses as a person, my greatest strengths are that I'm good at managing my time. I'm very flexible with adapting to new situations. So in situations where I'm not comfortable with the job that was given to me, or the area of the job or the subject of the job, I'm able to adapt to that quickly, teach myself how to become flexible, teach myself how to become comfortable with that. And so in the end, the process becomes a lot easier. So that's one thing I have been able to master in a way. And I'm also a very motivated individual. I'm very optimistic, and I rarely worry about things. I'm always able to be good at keeping things in control, and I think that's one of the key things I've also learned how to master as well. Because currently in my third year and final year at university, I'm the president of the Somali Society, and with lots of responsibility, come with great power comes with great responsibility. And during my time here so far for the past 2 months, I've been involved in a lot of planning. I've been involved in emailing a lot of people to come to our events, and a lot of this, to be able to do a lot successfully, you have to have a great level of control. So that's something I've been able to do well. My weaknesses, I would say that the fact that I've not properly delved into areas that are not primarily law, if that makes sense. I think my weaknesses as a person are that I need to become involved with things that aren't law. Be able to become involved with things that require me to come out of my comfort zone. For so many years, I've been in my comfort zone, and it's something that I know has become a bit challenging in a way. I mean, because I know that as I graduate, I would have to get into the real world, and to acquire new skills and new experiences, you have to be able to get out of your comfort zone and go for subjects or areas of work that pique in your interest and think that they will be useful in your development as a person and as a worker. I think my greatest strengths and weaknesses in line with my studies. So, my greatest strengths in line with my studies is, well, as a law student, we are trained to become analytical. We're able to problem solve things. So, with law, I have been learning how to study cases, but how to study how to study, pardon me, how to study legislation. As well as how to study different areas of the law and become familiar with them in a very short space of time. And so, because I've become more analytical, I'm able to highlight and point out issues quicker than the average person. So, for example, in cases where we're given cases by Supreme Court, for example, we have to highlight, what was the issue of this case, what did the court say, what was the judgment, what was, was this case significant? So that's one thing I've become quite good at, analyzing in detail, things. And I think that's something I could be able to apply to part-time work or internships, or even, after graduation. So it's something that I think they'll be able to help me as a person. My greatest weaknesses in line with my studies is, as I mentioned before, it's a little limited in a sense. I think, even though the law is so inextricably linked with business, art, media, anything, you name it, I still think that we haven't had much chance to actually experience practical work for ourselves. A lot of the thing about law is that it's quite theoretical about studying it. Something that I think that I really need to be able to improve is how to practically become involved with things. So this internship, I think, will be very extremely helpful for me with just the issue of housing and property development and business in general, because practically speaking, these are skills that you'll be able to need to acquire in the world of work to become a successful person and to successfully acquire jobs. So I think that's one weakness about the law, but because it's part of the weaknesses of my studies, it has encouraged me to get out there, and take opportunities for myself. So apart from those questions that you asked me to answer, there are also a few good questions you wanted me to answer. So these were: are you UK citizens? How many hours a week do you think you can commit to working? And 3, do you have any visa restrictions? Are you limited to 20 hours maximum work per week? Well, firstly, I am not a UK citizen, as I mentioned before. I am a Swedish citizen, but I am a UK resident, if that makes sense. So I do have a right to live and work here. I've been living here for a long time, that I've become socialised into British society, I think, as you can tell by my accent. Secondly, how many hours a week do you think you can commit to working? Well, on average, I tend to have Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays off completely every 2 weeks. Mondays are definitely off every week at this time. Wednesdays are also off every week this time, so those two I can definitely do. With Thursdays, a bit different because I tend to have tutorials every fortnight. Friday, I have a lecture and tutorials every fortnight, so those two will be a little tricky. But I think in general, I can commit, when you add Monday and Tuesday, that I can commit to 6 hours each, so that'll be 12 hours. And if I'm able to do night shifts, or if I'm able to do night shifts, then I think I could squeeze Wednesday. Monday, Wednesday, I can definitely do. I can squeeze Thursday in, but it would have to be after the afternoon. And the same thing with Friday, it would have to be after 2. So both Thursday and Friday would have to be after 2 every 2 weeks. But every other week, I tend to have Thursdays off as well, it's completely off. So I think I could do 20 hours a week, or maybe 18 hours a week. But it's not because I have any visa restrictions. So the first question is, do you have any visa restrictions? I don't have any whatsoever. No, I'm able to work anywhere, anytime, any hours. It's just I'm thinking more about how this will help with my studies, for example, if that makes sense. But if you also allow work during the weekend, then I can definitely do Saturdays and Sundays. So if Thursday and Friday prove to be a problem, then I can do Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturday and Sunday, if that makes sense. But I think that's all the questions I prepared. Thank you so much for extending the deadline. It really helped, and I do apologize for not sending it sooner. it's just these past 2 weeks have been quite stressful for students, which I'm sure you guys would understand. But thank you so much, and I hope this is not too late. And please let me know, regardless of what decision you make, sometime soon. Thank you very much.